Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in very good spirits wherever you are in the world. And today, if you don't mind, I would like to continue on our journey and discussion through the recent releases made by the Criterion Collection during this year of 2021, and to continue and in fact conclude our discussion of those films that were included in a recent set release made by Criterion earlier in the year. Let me now share with you some concluding remarks about this particular release, which is called 3 Films by Louise Buñuel. Over the course of a few videos, it has been a great privilege and honor for me to be able to share with you some thoughts that I have about each of the films that are included in this particular set, which is called 3 Films by Louise Buñuel. And so let me now, if you don't mind, share with you some maybe concluding remarks and some other points about the release itself as well as the booklet. And so as we know, this set, 3 Films by Louise Buñuel, includes the 3 films which are in English The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie and The Phantom of Liberty and That Obscure Object of Desire. And they are in these 3 separate compartments that then go into the box like so. And so we have the gathering or the collecting of each of these separate compartments in this cardboard packaging layout, and each of the various artwork for the specific films are laid out in this interesting collage type fashion adorning the front cover of this set. And then we have the box itself, which I should point out for anyone who might be interested, is itself not in any way spine numbered. So the box itself is not spine numbered, but the films themselves are. And they are spine numbered based on the original placement of the films. As we know, these films had been a part of the Criterion Collection physical media catalog back in the relatively early days of the DVD era. So now we have their triumphant return, as it were, in this Blu-ray box set. So there is the presentation here. And I must say, too, that the booklet is right here. Now, the booklet is such that it's supposed to go in the compartment for the film The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie. So there's a little bit of room in order for one to have the booklet housed in here. So it's a paper booklet, but it's very robust, and it has approximately 56 pages overall. And I must say that the booklet is quite great because in addition to setting forth a number of photographs, and also in addition to setting forth the information about the cast and crew, as well as the production credits, as well as information about the transfers relied upon for these Blu-ray releases, there are a number of essays, as well as a collection in English or translated into English, of interviews given by Louise Buñuel on each of the films that are presented here. So an overall very robust and full essay or collection of essays, in this booklet. So I'm very impressed with this. And so the first essay that we have is called More and Less by Adrian Martin, and this is on the film The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie. The next essay is by Gary Indiana, which is called The Serpentine Movements of Chance, and this is on The Phantom of Liberty. And then we have Desire Denuded, which is also by Adrian Martin, and this is on the film That Obscure Object of Desire. And then finally, we have a collection of interviews, again translated into English. And these interviews are by Jose de la Colina and Tomás Pérez Torrent. And so, these are on each of the films, on The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie, and then on The Phantom of Liberty, and then finally on That Obscure Object of Desire. So the gathering of these essays and the interviews, the written interviews, this gathering is quite stellar, and the essays are well written, quite pointed, specific to each of the films, and so it provides, I think, a really nice foundation for an analysis or examination of each of the films and the themes that are involved. So if anyone is interested in a further exploration of any of these films, I think this set of essays, as well as the interviews, I think are a really fine place to go for that kind of further exploration. So I cannot stress enough just how much I find these essays and interviews to be helpful and also informative and very entertaining as reads. In particular, the interviews. The interviews here show a wit and charm and personality of Bunuel, and they start, they continue, and they end in this very Bunuelian way. I find very full of intelligence and warmth, as well as a lot of spirit and drive. So wonderful stuff. So please check out these essays and interviews if you can. And I suppose I could say that in conclusion, I am quite happy with this Criterion release. I suppose one could say that upon looking at, say, the information provided regarding the presentations and the source materials used for those presentations, and also looking at or considering, say, the gathering of supplemental materials that were used for each of the film's releases, I suppose one could have a very reasonable discussion or debate as to which release of these films one would prefer. Would one prefer, say, a Studio Canal release over the now current or this current Criterion release, etc.? Whatever choice you have, I think if you end up going with this Criterion Region A Blu-ray set, I think you will be very happy. Once again, I think it does rely on a number of those supplements that were, say, found in previous Studio Canal releases or that were found in the earlier Criterion DVD releases. And so I think as a result of that, we might not necessarily see any quote-unquote Criterion current say, new commentary tracks or anything of that sort. And I think that would have been really welcome and very great to have seen. Unfortunately, we don't see that. And for some, that might be considered to be somewhat of a weakness of this set. But however you end up, I think what we are still ultimately getting in terms of the presentation of these films and the supplementary material are the films themselves, which, as I was trying to suggest, are very grand and funny and witty and so clever and so intelligent. And we have a wealth of supplements that show us not just pointed interviews and very direct and focused interviews and discussions of each of these films, and also moments and fragments and concepts and memories about working on these films. But also we get, in a lot of the supplements, a very great and probing and informative examination of Louis Bunuel as a man, as an artist, and his career overall. And so what we get here is not just a focus on the three films, but we get a focus from a certain perspective on the man, the artist, and his body of work. And in that way, I find this to be an overall very robust and full type of release. And I'm very happy that it's being made in this fashion. And so I should point out, too, that upon the making of these particular videos, I should point out that very recently we saw the passing of the artist and writer Jean-Claude Carrière, and I should say that for anyone who might be interested in seeing what kind of artist and writer and an artist who collaborated with Bunuel, what kind of person that he was, one great place to go would be a set like this, because among the films and among the supplements, you are getting a lot of Jean-Claude Carrière and his moments and his perspectives and his viewpoints on working with BUNUEL and on certain scenes and significant points of interest that he finds in particular to be worth mentioning during the course of his many interviews that are included here, there, and everywhere throughout this set. So there's a great presence here of Jean-Claude Carrière, who also is in many ways a keeper of the flame that is the legacy of Louis Buñuel. And it's really beautiful to see his dedication to the memory and the artistic legacy of Buñuel, as well as sharing with us some insight into his working relationship with Buñuel. And we get not just the way in which Jean-Claude Carrière works, but we also get a way in which Louis Buñuel works. And so I think overall it is so fascinating and insightful, and a warm tribute to all the artists concerned. And you get that and so much more when you explore, in my view, this wonderful set from Criterion, which is called 3 Films by Louis Buñuel. Okay, my friends, so thank you very much for all of your time and your comments and all of your attention, and also thank you very much for watching these films. Ultimately, it is about the films themselves, and wherever you fall on your viewings of these and other films, I'm so grateful to you for your time and your energy and enthusiasm, and for sharing with me and with all of us how you feel and react to a particular work of art. And sharing these ideas between and among all of us is one of the great reasons why this thing that we love, which is cinema, is so much fun and so engaging. So, my dear friends, thank you so much. And until we meet again, please be happy and healthy and well, and please keep on watching a lot of great, great movies. Thank you so much, as always, for your very valuable time. I really appreciate it. Stay strong, stay safe, and cheers.